To use the Chartwork plotter to plot a course to steer, allowing for tide, first of all we need to estimate the direction and rate of the tide in our current location at the current time. So our fix here at 10:30. If we want to plot a course to the entrance to Rocky Bay, allowing for the tide, there is a tidal diamond near our position. We could also consult a tidal atlas, or we could also just estimate the tidal set and drift, its speed and direction from observations that we make. So the information for a tidal diamond is listed on the chart. So let's just say that the ground track that we wish to follow to the entrance to Rocky Bay is this ground track here. So that's the ground track that we want to follow. And let's say that the information we have is that the tide is flowing in this direction, and let's say the tide is flowing in that direction at a rate of 1 knot. We can use the units on the edge of the plotter. It doesn't matter which units we use. We can use small units or we can use larger units. But let's say we use these larger units. So we mark off 1 unit of tide. Then we need to estimate the boat speed that we will travel on this passage. So let's say we estimate our boat speed of being, let's say, 4 knots. So if we've used these units for the tide, we need to use the same units for speed. And then we arc off on our ground track until our speed crosses our ground track. Now if you need to extend the ground track line, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so we arc that across. That's about right there. So that will be our course to steer, so that from our position we slide along that ground track to compensate for the tide, which will be pushing us in a westerly direction. If we actually want to know what that course to steer will be, we put the edge of our plotter along the line, rotate the central dial on the plotter so that it lines up with the grid lines on the chart, and then we can pick it up and read off that the course allowing for local magnetic variation would be 038, 039, so we'd probably round that up to 040, and we'd ask our helmsperson to steer a course of 040 magnetic, so that we slide along the ground track, allowing for the tide.